Chapter 61 Conquering the Green Grass Tribe. You are listening at novelfull.audio. More than a month has passed in a flash. After spending about 4 months, Yi Chen finally finished his comprehension of the power of the law. With his strong talent, he has a general understanding of those easy-to-understand power of the law. Although he is far from the level of comprehension, with these cognitions and understandings, he has almost reached the level of being able to create a set of magic skills. Next, it is to study a set of suitable exercise routes. Moreover, this set of exercise routes must be applicable to spells of various natures: gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, rain, thunder and lightning. All kinds of different exercises can use this set of exercise routes and enhance their power. Hey, is this the end of the comprehension and the beginning of the study of the exercise map? That the audience in the live broadcast room soon discovered through the scanning data of the scanner that the spiritual power in Yi Chen's meridians was beginning to try to enter some acupuncture points. It's been 4 months, and I finally finished comprehending. According to this calculation, it will take about 4 months to create a new technique. All in all, it takes up to 8 months. Someone couldn't help but sigh. It only takes 1 month to create a new technique in the condensation stage. The time required to create a new technique in the spirit release stage doubles to 2 months. And now, after breaking through to the spirit method stage, it takes about 8 months to create a new technique. It's 4 times longer than the time required in the spirit release stage. According to this time calculation, it means that once Yi Chen breaks through to the next realm, it may take 16 times as long to create a new technique. 16 times 8 months is 128 months, more than 10 years. It may be more than that, maybe it will take longer, or even reach the upper limit, and it will be impossible to create a new technique. What a pity. This time, Yi Chen didn't surprise everyone again, and those experts and scholars were right. Everyone in the live broadcast room was a little depressed. If Yi Chen breaks through to the next realm, it may take more than 10 years to create a new technique, or even reach the upper limit of being unable to create a new technique. This means that the days of all mankind stealing skills are about to come to an end. There is no need to be too disappointed. Personal talent will eventually reach its limit. This is what we expected. Fortunately, Yi Chen has pushed this practice method to an extremely high level. At least, after he reaches the next realm, he can improve the Chaos Sutra suitable for the next realm. In this way, we can break through to the next realm. In the spiritual law period, the upper limit of lifespan reaches 500 years. In the next realm, it may reach 1,000 years. In the next realm, it will be 2,000 years. The creativity and inheritance ability of our human race, that he is the best among all races. Not to mention 2,000 years, even 1,000 years can produce countless amazing talents. These amazing talents can surely improve this cultivation method based on Yi Chen's foundation. All good things must come to an end. I have been learning from Yi Chen for so long that I am used to watching his live broadcast whenever I am free. Just thinking that one day, Yi Chen will reach the upper limit of his creation of skills, and there will be no need to watch his live broadcast every day, I am really a little melancholy. Many sentimental viewers are lamenting that life is always full of helplessness. The day has come when Yi Chen reaches the upper limit of his talent and can no longer create skills. Maybe the show still exists, and I can still come and watch it when I am free, but it will definitely not be as lively as it is now. And things will change, and the mood will definitely be different by then. Maybe, by then, Yi Chen's ambitions will have been completely wiped out, and he will be addicted to wine, sex, money and anger, and he will be a lonely hero and a fallen genius. Watching will only increase sadness. It is better not to watch and leave a perfect memory. Bang bang. Yi Chen was concentrating on controlling the spiritual power to enter each acupuncture point, and there was a gentle knock on the door. Squeak. The little golden ball jumped up. He rushed to open the door first. The door opened. Standing outside the door was the anxious high priest. Originally, the high priest had no psychological burden for coming to Yi Chen, but since Hailan was severely punished for disturbing Yi Chen's practice, he was a little scared, worried that bad luck would come to Yi Chen when he was in a bad mood. Even if he reported something, it would attract Yi Chen's anger. "What's the matter?" Yi Chen asked calmly. In fact, he was in a very irritable mood now. after 4 consecutive months of staying in the room to comprehend the power of the law, and then concentrating on testing the changes in the acupuncture points for spiritual power for more than 10 days, even with his willpower, it was a bit too much. However, he did not have the habit of venting his anger on others. Reporting to the tribe leader, someone from Zhongshan sent a message saying that a tribe with more than 1,800 people called the Green Grass Tribe was found on a large grassland. With the powerful strength of the deterrent, the people of this tribe also successfully surrendered to our Yanshan tribe. The high priest carefully looked at Yi Chen's face, trying to see Yi Chen's mood from it. Great, that Yi Chen was surprised finally found the second human tribe. Although it was the Green Grass Tribe he knew, it was already very good. As his sphere of influence continues to increase, what he is most worried about is that there are too few humans in this world. This means that the base of the human race is extremely low. Even if he promotes fertility, it may take hundreds or thousands of years to increase the population. Fortunately, although the sphere of influence has reached 1.1 million square kilometers, we have finally found a second tribe. There are more than 1,800 tribesmen, which can double the number of people in the Yanshan tribe. It won't take long for the Yanshan tribe's army to fight abroad to easily double. Why is Yi Chen so happy to have found a new tribe? As a ruler, he has never enjoyed the power that any ruler should have. In the live broadcast room, some viewers couldn't help but wonder. Green Grass Tribe, listen clearly, it's the Green Grass Tribe. Someone immediately reminded him, don't forget, Yi Chen is also from the Green Grass Tribe. Moreover, he was kicked out of the Green Grass Tribe because he was too thin to hunt, and then wandered to the Yanshan Mountains. If you don't tell me, I really forgot. No wonder Yi Chen is so happy. It's fun to see. You used to be indifferent to me, but now I make you unable to reach your heights. I'm afraid this is Yi Chen's current mentality, right? That the audience immediately became excited. I really look forward to how the people of the Green Grass Tribe will look when they find out that the leader of the Yanshan tribe is Yi Chen, whom they once expelled from the tribe. Yi Chen has changed a lot from before, right? At least he is not thin now, and he has a strong aura. The people of the Green Grass Tribe may not recognize Yi Chen. The people of the Green Grass Tribe will definitely not recognize Yi Chen. But Yi Chen can reveal his identity on his own. Some viewers clicked their tongues and said, with Yi Chen's character, he will definitely take revenge on the Qingqiao tribe, but I don't know if he will directly destroy the entire Qingqiao tribe. Probably not. Judging from Yi Chen's attitude towards the people of the Yanshan tribe and the orders he gave to the 4 leaders not to kill anyone when meeting other tribes, he is not a person who likes killing people. However, it is certain to scare them. If it were me, I would reveal my identity, and then leave with an angry attitude, leaving the people of the Green Grass Tribe to worry. This is a good idea. If you are timid, you may be scared out of your wits. The audience in the live broadcast room became more and more excited as they chatted. Chapter 62 New System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chief, the members of the Green Grass Tribe are on their way to the valley now. Seeing that Yi Chen was not angry, but had a look of surprise on his face, the high priest's anxious mood suddenly calmed down. He said, I plan to arrange them all at the Lingxia mine and let them be responsible for mining to save time for our Yanshan tribe members. What do you think? Remember, since the Qingqiao tribe has been merged into our Yanshan tribe, they are members of our Yanshan tribe. Yi Chen said angrily, treat them as slaves, and arrange them, men, women, old and young, to mine in the Lingxia mine. You can't think of that. The high priest was a little stunned. Yi Chen muttered, whether it is the Green Grass Tribe or the tribes that will be conquered in the future, please remember what I just told you. In the early days, you can treat them differently. After all, you can't just join the Yanshan tribe and enjoy the same treatment as the tribesmen. This will make the old tribe members feel uncomfortable. But the difference cannot be too big, otherwise it will be difficult for the new tribesmen to quickly integrate into the Yanshan tribe, and it will also be easy for them to become estranged. You can control the difference yourself. For example, what kind of salary will be increased after 1 year, and how much will it be improved after 3 years, until it is exactly the same as the people of the Yanshan tribe. Okay, The high priest nodded quickly. When will the people of the green grass tribe arrive? Yi Chen asked. The high priest hesitated and said, there are ferocious beasts responsible for carrying the journey. It should only take 3 or 4 days. Yi Chen nodded. Deploy manpower, find a way to cut down a group of trees, and build wooden houses for the people of the Qingqiao tribe in the valley, and build them together with the residences of the people of the Yanshan tribe. Okay, the high priest nodded. Yi Chen ordered, let's hold a bonfire party again to welcome the people of the Qingqiao tribe and make it easier for the people of the 2 tribes to get familiar with each other. Then, should we notify the clan leader to participate? The high priest asked. No, Yi Chen waved his hand. He had no interest in wasting a whole night on such an activity that was fun for the people. He does not need to rely on such activities to enhance his prestige and influence. However, you can go out for a walk now. I have been bored for too long and need to adjust my mood and state. Secondly, he also has to consider other things. The population of the Yanshan tribe has more than doubled, and all kinds of contradictions and conflicts are bound to be inevitable. We must try to prevent them and make a simple plan for the future development of the Yanshan tribe. Yi Chen stood up and walked out of the room. The high priest hurried to follow. Gigi. Little golden ball's small mung bean eyes almost turned into big soybean eyes. God opens his eyes. Can you finally go out and play? It jumped up and quickly jumped onto Yi Chen's shoulders, dancing with excitement. Hey, look at Yi Chen's attitude. Why is it that he has no intention of showing off his current status in front of the people of the Qingqiao tribe? Nor does he have any intention of punishing the people of the Qingqiao tribe by driving him out of the tribe in the first place. That everyone in the live broadcast room was confused. Maybe Yi Chen is more insidious and plans to slowly deal with the people of the green grass tribe in the future. How is it possible? With Yi Chen's strength, the more than 1,000 people of the green grass tribe are nothing in front of him. He can do whatever he wants, and there is no need to deal with it slowly in the future. Even if you want to deal with it slowly in the future, you must at least let the people of the green grass tribe know his identity, so that all the people of the green grass tribe can spend every day in fear. Instead of helping the green grass tribe build wooden houses in advance and holding a bonfire party to welcome them, I am too lazy to participate. Looking at the situation, Yi Chen has never thought about this from beginning to end. In his eyes, the Qingqiao tribe is just the first human tribe conquered by the Xuanhuan tribe. This is the person who does great things. All the audience were amazed. Yi Chen's unexpected attitude attributed them to Yi Chen's fierce personality, with only interests in his eyes and no past grudges. They didn't know at all that Yi Chen didn't hold grudges, nor did he care about past grudges for the sake of profit. Those grievances were purely the grievances of his predecessor. Although he had the memories of his predecessor, he did not have the empathy of his predecessor. Moreover, the memory of his predecessor only contained loneliness, helplessness and fear, but no hatred. If there were ferocious beasts or something like that, let alone 1,800, even 18 million, Yi Chen would kill them all without hesitation to avenge his predecessor. But this is a population of more than 1,800, which is the cornerstone of his future conquests in the world. Naturally, he will not cause trouble with the green grass tribe when his predecessor's memory does not leave any hatred and resentment. As for returning home in rich clothes and shocking the people of the Qingqiao tribe, Yi Chen had never thought about such a thing. As the leader of the Yanshan tribe, he is revered as a god by his tribe. He is above all living beings. He can respond to 100 calls and control the life and death of everyone. The little happiness of pretending to be cool is completely worth mentioning. Arrange manpower to build a stone house next to it. From now on, arrange a guard nearby. Looking back at the crumbling cabin, Yi Chen explained, after the green grass tribe merged with them, they had a little more manpower. Likewise, the valley became more and more crowded. It is necessary to arrange a guard. Building a stone house is to establish one's supreme status. Okay, the high priest hurriedly memorized it. Yi Chen strolled in the valley while making arrangements. In the future, cancel the practice of distributing food according to population, and use spirit stones to exchange for food instead. Let the tribesmen collect spirit stones and then exchange them for food. The high priest asked. Yi Chen shook his head and said, the spirit stone mine belongs to the tribe leader. No one will be qualified to collect it privately in the future. The high priest was confused. What does it mean? Food must be exchanged for spirit stones, and all spirit stones belong to the tribe leader, so, the tribesmen are all waiting to starve to death. Yi Chen continued, you should try to make a detailed plan, such as how many spirit stones can be obtained every day for those who participate in the expansion of the territory. How many spirit stones can be obtained for meritorious service? Different strengths, different statuses, and different merits will result in different amounts of spirit stones. Like in the 4 armies, the 4 leaders of Gully can each get 10 spirit stones every day, and those in the spirit release period can get 10 spirit stones in 10 days. Those who have not yet broken through to the spirit release period can get 10 spirit stones a month. On the other hand, those who participate in mining, guarding, transporting supplies, can also get spirit stones. How much can be obtained, and how much food can be exchanged for 1 spirit stone? You should make a plan and show it to me before deciding. Okay, the high priest nodded. He understood Yi Chen's idea a little bit. It felt that Yi Chen was messing around, and there was no need for this at all. It was just a waste of time and manpower. However, he did not dare to speak out against it. The audience in the live broadcast room all widened their eyes at this moment. Everyone, looking at Yi Chen on the screen, had the urge to prostrate themselves in worship. Chapter 63 Yi Chen's Desire to Rule. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's incredible. Some geniuses always have thoughts and ideas that transcend the times. Yi Chen is one of them. Yes. It's okay that he has unprecedented talent in practicing and creating skills. Unexpectedly, he is also a rare genius in internal affairs. No wonder the skills created by Yi Chen surprised even us. Although he lives in the barbaric era, his vision has long transcended the stars, the sea, and time and space. The audience in the live broadcast room was shocked beyond words. No one expected that Yi Chen, who had always ignored political affairs and let the high priest mess around, would have such a brilliant idea. It's simply a big move that subverts the times. This decision seems simple. It's nothing more than changing the food distribution system of the tribe. But in fact, it subverted the entire tribal civilization, pushed the tribal civilization to the early stage of national civilization. The root of everything lies in the spirit stone, Chen. This is to issue spirit stones directly as currency. At the same time, the original structure of the tribe was changed, so that the tribe, which originally belonged to a whole, became a family-based distribution according to work. The exile planet has existed for more than 2,000 years, and various tribes have been born for more than 2,000 years. In these 2,000 years, many geniuses with extraordinary wisdom have emerged in the major tribes of the exile planet. Similarly, there are also some world-famous heavy criminals who have been sent to the exile planet. Like Yi Chen's grandfather, the 9-star General Yi Tinglong, is one of them. But whether it is a genius born locally, or a big man like the 9-star General Yi Tinglong who was sent to the exile planet, they may easily become the leader of the tribe with their talents and brains. They can also formulate a series of policies to make the entire tribe undergo earth-shaking changes, and even solve the biggest problem of food shortage in the barbaric era. But no one can hit the key points like Yi Chen, subvert the entire tribal civilization with one move, and let the tribal civilization enter the national civilization. Column. Point 1 Audience member sighed. I remember that after the 9-star General Yi Tinglong unified the entire Qingqiao tribe, he tried to change the Qingqiao tribe from strength inheritance to blood inheritance. Unfortunately, it failed in the end. Although Yi Chen's father succeeded to the throne as the leader of the Qingqiao tribe, he was replaced within a few years. Yi Chen was driven out of the tribe because he was too weak to hunt. I think the root cause of the failure is that although Yi Tinglong has been promoting blood inheritance and has indeed influenced the thinking of a generation, the structure of the tribe has not changed. Yi Tinglong did not find the core. The biggest stumbling block of blood inheritance is the warriors of the major tribes. And the only one who can restrain the warriors is the tribesman. No matter how powerful the warriors are, they can't fight 100. As soon as these words came out, they immediately attracted the approval and discussion of countless people. I think Yi Tinglong failed because he did not firmly grasp the right to distribute food in the tribe. Moreover, He did not subtly let all the tribe members agree that the tribe leader has the power to distribute food at will, rather than whoever hunts more and whoever contributes the most in the hunting process will definitely be allocated enough food. Only by firmly grasping the right to distribute food, even if the successor is not strong, he can control a group of people loyal to him through unfair food distribution. Yi Chen regards the spirit stone mine as his own private property, promotes the spirit stone as currency, and even reforms the system of the entire tribe, which is a step further. It is said that the geniuses who emerged in the exile planet over the past 2,000 years have a vision and thinking that is 2 levels higher than that of ordinary people. Compared with these geniuses, Yi Chen's vision is at least 5 levels higher. If he leaves the exile planet and joins our human federation, I will definitely choose him as the president of the parliament. That's right, if Yi Chen joins our human federation, as long as he spends a few years to familiarize himself with and master the system of the human federation and understand the current situation of our human beings, he will definitely be able to lead our human federation to a higher level as the president of the parliament. Everyone believes that with Yi Chen's vision and mind, he can shine even in the human federation in the Interstellar Era. Some clear-headed people stood up. Forget about it. If one day Yi Chen leaves the exile planet and joins our human federation, we can worship him as a god, but we can't let him have any power. Don't forget that Yi Chen had planned and laid out his plan to seize the position of patriarch as soon as he knew about the existence of the Xuanhuan tribe. And the second day after he became the patriarch, he almost abolished the high priest and did not allow any gods above him in the tribe. He even let the high priest push him to the altar. Don't think that Yi Chen, as a patriarch, has hardly enjoyed any privileges that a patriarch should have. But his desire to rule has reached a level that ordinary people can't understand. At this stage, he may not need the privileges brought by power, but he likes the supreme power that combines political and divine power in one person. As soon as these words came out, the entire live broadcast room was instantly quiet. The Human Federation has a history of nearly 10,000 years, and everyone has a deep-rooted recognition of this system. No one hopes that there will be people in this world who can dominate their own life and destiny without following the law. No one wants to have another ruler above their head. In the valley, Yi Chen was strolling around while thinking about other policies. Okay, let's leave it at that for now. Go do your thing. After a long time, he finally decided to temporarily slow down the policies on education, childbirth, and people's livelihood. Using spirit stones as currency and changing the tribal system is a big step. If he continues to move forward, there will definitely be constant conflicts, and the ability of the high priest will not be able to handle it at all. At that time, he will have to personally come forward and spend a lot of time on solving various conflicts. It was also the period when the Qingqiao tribe had just merged into the Yanshan tribe, and everything needed to be adjusted. There were too many details in the family. He was too busy. The most important thing was that even if the Qingqiao tribe was added, the population of the Yanshan tribe was only 3,500 to 6,000 people. Everything can be done gradually, and no matter how big the steps are, there is no way to achieve significant results. Just like childbirth, this is the most important means to increase the population. For this reason, Yi Chen did not mind setting rules. No matter which family gave birth to a child, there would be a generous reward. But what followed was a series of details that needed to be worked out, and a series of sequelae that needed to be dealt with, involving all aspects. In the case of a small population in the tribe and not enough talents to complete this plan, he needed to spend a lot of time on it. Yes. The high priest bowed and left as if he had been pardoned. In his opinion, just exchanging spirit stones for food and how to distribute spirit stones according to work was enough to make his head explode. If Yi Chen made any more sudden decisions, he would explode on the spot. Chapter 64 Clash of Clans. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wait until the high priest leaves. Yi Chen wandered along the valley, aimlessly. No matter where you go, I no longer think about anything in my head. Cicadas chirp, birds chirp, beasts roar, and the wind howls. The wild flowers and green grass everywhere, blown by the breeze, penetrate into the nostrils with a faint fragrance. It makes people feel refreshed and refreshed. Encountering a creek, Yi Chen stopped. I picked up a few pebbles. With a few brushes, a few fish playing in the stream were penetrated. Get another fire going. simply sit by the stream and grill fish while admiring the green mountains and green waters in the distance. The little golden ball made a pop and plunged into the water, trying hard to chase down the fleeing fish in an attempt to get more grilled fish. In the distance, there were several ferocious beasts that came to drink water from the stream, looking at Yi Chen greedily. But no one dared to step forward, although the aura on Yi Chen's body does not leak out. The level 10 ferocious beast aura of the little golden ball is extremely obvious. Even though the little golden ball was only the size of a fist, its powerful aura still made these ferocious beasts stop and dare not move forward. After eating the grilled fish, we wandered around for a while, feeling that his mentality had been adjusted. Yi Chen returned to the valley. Return to the cabin and start testing and studying the movement diagrams of the new exercises again. 4 days later, more than 1,800 people from the Qingqiao tribe arrived in the valley. They were pleasantly surprised to find that the Yanshan tribe had actually built a brand new wooden house for them in advance, which only the tribe leader, priests and warriors could live in before. Moreover, a grand bonfire party was prepared to celebrate their arrival. What surprised them even more was that they would be able to learn writing and practice powerful techniques just like the people of the Yanshan tribe. The people of the Yanshan tribe were also surprised to find that there were really many peerless beauties in the Qingqiao tribe. At a glance, there were at least 4 or 5 stunning beauties with burly bodies and dark, rough skin. This ratio is really ridiculously high. In addition, the people of the green grass tribe are also ingenious and have often come up with things that can subvert the perceptions of the people of the Yanshan tribe. Make barbecue delicious with a seasoning made from a variety of plant powders. Stew in a stone pot, a delicious and fragrant cooking method. Various practical tools, beautiful fursuit styles. The people of the Yanshan tribe all felt refreshed. It's amazing. You won't know it until you see it. You'll be shocked when you see it. I just checked and found that there are 15 fake felons sneaking into the green grass tribe. That is inevitable. Although all felons are randomly released, those fake felons who have not erased their memories and have ulterior motives must be familiar with the geographical environment of the exiled planet. After determining your location, you must rush to the tribe closest to the Yanshan tribe as soon as possible and find a way to blend in. After such a long time, it's normal to have 15. These 15 fake felons really tried their best to attract Yi Chen. The Qingqiao tribe has been deteriorating after Yi Tinglong's death. It is also facing the same food shortage as the Yanshan tribe. These fake felons can actually create a lot of weird things in this environment while protecting themselves. One of them even took over the position of clan leader, which is amazing. That's no nonsense. Which of these people is not a carefully selected elite? The audience in the live broadcast room all called him good guy. Some people couldn't help but worry. Yi Chen was born in the Qingqiao tribe. A large number of peerless beauties, tall men, and all kinds of weird things suddenly appeared in the Qingqiao tribe. It would easily arouse Yi Chen's suspicion, right? I guess not. After all, it has been several years since Yi Chen was kicked out of the green grass tribe. There are a few more outsiders, and there are some different changes. Even if they feel strange, they won't think about it deeply. After all, he doesn't know about serious criminals like we do, so it's impossible for him to think about conspiracy. But it will be hard to say in the future. In order to attract Yi Chen's attention, these people used all kinds of methods to attract Yi Chen's attention, and 100 flowers bloomed, and the involution was serious. As time goes by, Yi Chen will sooner or later notice that many people are trying to get close to him. Once he is on guard, the success rate will plummet if he tries to get close to him again. It looks like it's not just the Federal Council that sent fake felons to the exile planet, there are also many other forces. Otherwise, we won't end up fighting independently without any plan. It's dazzling. There are almost all types. I don't know who are the people from the Federal Parliament. It doesn't matter who is from the Federal Council, as long as they are not traitors of all races. After all, whether they are people from the Council, people from the top wealthy people, even those who are trying to become self-reliant planetary governors, their goal is to do it as quickly as possible, obtain the new skills created by Yi Chen, or control Yi Chen. As long as the goal is achieved, we will be able to get the new skills created by Yi Chen through the scanner immediately. If people from the Federal Council hadn't controlled Yi Chen, the Federal Council would certainly not have allowed them to send Yi Chen out of the exile planet. As for the traitor from Wanzhou, he definitely wants to get close to Yi Chen and assassinate Yi Chen. No matter what the Federal Council does, it should not allow such a person to infiltrate among serious criminals. What we should worry about is whether Yi Chen can create new skills after his talent reaches the upper limit. In other words, he can create several new skills. In the live broadcast room, there was a lot of heated discussion. Everyone felt that they were the ones who had a safe seat at the Diayutai, because no matter which force succeeded, they could learn the new skills created by Yi Chen at the first time. No one would have thought that the top leaders of the federal parliament were planning a big gamble, and even the traitors of the 10,000 races were not prohibited. After a short honeymoon period, the Yanshan tribe soon entered a period of integration with many contradictions. The people of the two tribes, one lived on the endless grassland, and the other lived in the mountains. Although the language was the same, the living habits were completely different. Not to mention, Yi Chen also abolished all kinds of sacrifices and gods of the Yanshan tribe, and the people of the Qingqiao tribe, who had not seen Yi Chen's power with their own eyes, could hardly regard him as a god like the people of the Yanshan tribe. The chief priest of the green grass tribe was not threatened with his life. He would not, like the chief priest of the Yanshan tribe, actively weaken his special status as a divine messenger and work hard to publicize Yi Chen's identity as the reincarnation of a divine spirit. There were constant conflicts among the people. In addition, the tribesmen of the Yanshan tribe had practiced first and had a crushing advantage in strength, so they were inevitably arrogant. For a pheasant or a tool, a fight could break out. The chief priest was so busy that he was exhausted. Moreover, this was before the implementation of the new policy. Once implemented, it would only cause a bigger chain reaction. Chapter 65. The High Priest is too young. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bang bang. The only stone house in the entire valley. The High Priest knocked on Yi Chen's door anxiously. He actually didn't want to find Yi Chen first. If Yi Chen is in a bad mood, it is very likely that he will end up in the same situation as Hai Lan, where he will be angered by Yi Chen and suffer severe punishment. Secondly, if you encounter trouble that cannot be solved, asking Yi Chen to discuss it can only show that he is incompetent. Before, he didn't think anyone could take his place, but as the people of the Green Grass tribe merged into the Yanshan tribe, he felt threatened. He found many characters in the Green Grass tribe whose minds and hearts frightened him. These people are fully qualified to replace him and do better than him, but he had to come to Yi Chen, because he always felt that if he didn't come to Yi Chen, there would be a large-scale fight in the tribe. If this is really the case, it will be even more uncontrollable. Squeak, the door opens. Little Golden Ball stood at the door. The high priest, regardless of his status as one person inferior to 10,000 people, bowed to the little golden ball as a pet and said hello. Then he entered the room and held a few yellow pieces of straw paper in front of Yi Chen. On it, plans for the new system were recorded using charcoal writing and drawings. Yi Chen took the tissue paper, turned it over and looked at it a few times, with deep surprise in his eyes. This is an item called paper that was researched by a tribe member named Luoshi using scraps of vegetation. The high priest hurriedly explained, with this paper, a lot of animal skins can be saved. Sharp, that Yi Chen clicked his tongue. Someone actually invented paper. That Hai Lan was not only a musical genius, but also invented the flute. Now, there is another genius who invented paper. There are many geniuses in the tribe. The high priest accepted Hai Lan's lesson and stopped talking, not daring to say any more. Yi Chen didn't think much. He picked up the tissue paper and started reading. Not bad, very reasonable. To his surprise, the plan formulated by the high priest was 10 times 100 times better than he expected. In particular, the value of spiritual stones and the income of each class are very reasonable. According to this plan, one spiritual stone is equivalent to 100 kilograms of high-grade animal meat. The fixed monthly income of the high priest and the 4 chiefs is 300 spiritual stones. Further down, those tribesmen in the spiritual release period, those who teach writing and teach skills, are entitled to 100 spiritual stones per month. Tribesmen who join the 4th army but have not reached the spiritual release period will receive 30 spiritual stones per month. Tribesmen responsible for transportation, communications, mining, cleaning, etc. receive 10 spiritual stones per month. In terms of income, it is divided into these 4 levels. If you make any additional contributions, you will also be rewarded with spiritual stones. It seems simple, but it is very suitable for the current Yanshan tribe. There are differences among various classes, but they are not too disparate. It is in line with the current situation and development requirements of the Yanshan tribe. Even if a family has lost a strong male, it can still ensure that the whole family has enough food and clothing through mining, cleaning, and other jobs. In addition, the few families with only the elderly and children left can also receive 1 spiritual stone per person per month based on their population. This plan does not need to be modified by Yi Chen at all. It even made Yi Chen feel impressed by the high priest. Thank you for the clan leader's appreciation. It is an honor for me to serve the clan leader. The high priest was overjoyed. Add a reward plan. You don't have to kill powerful beasts to be considered as a contribution to the tribe. Yi Chen raised the papyrus in his hand. Luo Shi, who invented paper, has also made great contributions to the tribe. According to the current highest standard, he will be rewarded with 100 spiritual stones, and he can also receive additional monthly rewards. 10 spiritual stones. The same goes for other contributions. Various rewards will be given based on value and role for the tribe. Okay. That the high priest was more and more surprised. This Luo Shi is also one of the people he fears. He actually didn't want to introduce him to Yi Chen and let him appear in front of Yi Chen. However, this Luo Shi was so good that he solved the new system plan that he had been thinking about the most. Moreover, it was agreed that he should take credit for this plan. The only thing he asked for help was to give Yi Chen a few words when he found the paper and was surprised. This condition was something he couldn't refuse. Fortunately, although Yi Chen was surprised and remembered the name Luo Shi, he had no intention of attracting him. For the rest, just implement this plan. From now on, we will slowly improve and improve. Yi Chen handed the papyrus back to the high priest. Okay, the high priest nodded. Just tell me if you have anything to say. Seeing that the high priest had no intention of leaving, but seemed hesitant to speak, Yi Chen became impatient. Pardon me, Chief. Ever since the members of the Qinchao tribe merged into the valley, the past few days have been fine. Everyone gets along well. The high priest said fearfully, but slowly, various contradictions began to appear. For example, the people of the Qinchao tribe don't believe that the clan leader is the reincarnation of the gods. If the people of the Yanshan tribe heard this, they would definitely be scolded and taught a lesson. Children from the 2 tribes would collide and fight if they were not careful. The tribesmen of Yanshan tribe were stronger and would often beat up the children of Qinchao tribe. If the families of these children came to the door, they would also be beaten up. There are also things like stealing and washing water. There are constant frictions and signs of getting more intense. I am worried that after the new system is promoted, the conflicts will become more intense due to personnel arrangements, leading to large-scale fights between the 2 tribes. Triggering large-scale fights, Yi Chen could not help but frowned. The high priest's heart immediately became uneasy. This old thing is still a little naive. There is no way. Although the high priest has the potential to be a traitor, he is not broad-minded enough and lacks experience. How can he be a match for those fake felons? The audience in the live broadcast room are all a little gloating. Luo Shi is one of the fake felons, and he is the first fake felon to take the initiative. On the one hand, he approached the high priest and made suggestions to win the high priest's favor. On the other hand, he secretly incited the people of the Qinchao tribe to feel dissatisfied with the people of the Yanshan tribe, and induced the people of the Yanshan tribe to be arrogant because of their stronger strength. The people of the 2 tribes continued to clash, forcing the high priest to seek help from Yi Chen. 2-pronged approach. If the paper could not arouse Yi Chen's curiosity and get Yi Chen's summons, Yi Chen could not sit idly by in the conflict between the 2 tribes, and he would definitely stop creating new skills and go out to deal with the matter. At that time, he would take the initiative to come forward and make suggestions, which would also gain Yi Chen's attention and favor. The high priest tried to suppress people with outstanding abilities like Luo Shi and prevent them from standing in front of Yi Chen, but he didn't know that his mind might not be bad, but in terms of scheming, he was far inferior to those well-informed fake felons. Just because a fake serious criminal chose to take the initiative, he was deeply trapped and became a stepping stone without knowing it. Chapter 66, Severe Punishments in Troubled Times. You are listening at novelfull.audio. How did you arrange the patriarch and priest of the green grass tribe? Yi Chen thought for a moment and looked at the high priest. The leader of the Qingqiao tribe, I arranged for him to go to Taisher of the West Route Army and let him learn the exercises from Taisher. I promised that he would also have the opportunity to become the leader of the Route Army in the future. The high priest explained, as for the priest of the green grass tribe, I asked him to follow me and promised that his status will only be below me in the future. Is it possible that someone else is fanning the flames behind this? Yi Chen was a little surprised. He originally thought that one of the patriarchs and priests of the green grass tribe was behind this, but that doesn't seem to be the case. The chief of the Qingqiao tribe went to the Western Army, and the priest of the Qingqiao tribe was personally watched by the high priest, and the promises he made were not low, logically speaking. Even if you want to fight for power, you shouldn't start it so early. At least you have to wait and see for a while. Let's wait until the tribesmen learn various techniques and their strength is no worse than that of the Yanshan tribe. Without the clan leaders and priests fanning the flames behind their backs, the Qingqiao tribe was a conquered tribe after all, and the Yanshan tribe gave them enough face in the beginning. Having built a house for them and providing them with enough food is much better than living in thatched huts without enough food. Even if you are bullied, you can only endure it in the early stage. If you have a grudge, you also have to wait until your strength improves before you take revenge. On the other hand, the people of the Yanshan tribe may become arrogant because they are stronger. But the entire Yanshan tribe regarded him as a god. He, the god in the eyes of his tribe, had already told the high priest to live in peace with the tribesmen of the green grass tribe. No matter how much the Yanshan tribe bullies others, they will not cause too many troubles to avoid making him, the clan leader, unhappy. There must be someone behind the scenes to intensify the conflict between the two tribes. Following the fire, the high priest hesitated for a moment and suddenly reacted, yes. If it weren't for someone fanning the flames behind the scenes, it would not have happened like this. After all, the green grass tribe was a conquered tribe, and they were all treated as slaves to collect spiritual stones. Even if they were full, they would not dare to cause trouble in the short term. If the management is full, I will definitely have to thank you a lot. Secretly, try to find out who is instigating and leading the people of the Qingqiao tribe to hate the people of the Yanshan tribe. In fact, the other party is even deliberately leading the people of the Yanshan tribe to become arrogant. Yi Chen ordered, after you find out, you will be punished as you want. Okay, the high priest nodded heavily. As for now, Yi Chen decided, the new system will be implemented as usual. Let Guli choose a clan member in the spiritual release period that she trusts to come over and form a guard team, which will be temporarily commanded by you. As the high priest of the Yanshan tribe, I will issue an order. All matters and conflicts in the tribe need to be decided by you. If a fight breaks out without your decision, everyone who takes action, regardless of the reason, except for the ignorant children, will have one finger cut off as punishment. You then make a judgment based on the cause and course of the incident. The party who is in the wrong will be severely punished by cutting off an arm and being fined as a coolie for 10 years. In the minor case, a finger will be broken off and a certain amount of spiritual stones will be fined. The party who is in the right position can get spiritual stones. Stone compensation. Okay. The high priest felt that this punishment was a bit too harsh. Listen to this meaning. If a fight breaks out over a trivial matter, no matter who is right or wrong, cut off one finger first before talking. The party who is at fault will still have to lose another finger, even if the matter is not serious. In a daze, 2 fingers are gone for a trivial matter. However, he didn't have the guts to refute. In the Yanshan tribe, you have great power. Especially after the new system and the escort team came out, you already have the power to control the destiny of the tribe. Yi Chen looked at the high priest and reminded, do you know why I asked you to use your name as the high priest to issue this strict order? He also asked Guli to find a spiritual release period tribesman she trusted to come over and take charge of this escort team. The high priest was stunned and subconsciously shook his head. Go ahead. Think about the reasons when you have time. Yi Chen waved his hand. Yes. The high priest bowed and left. His eyes were full of confusion. The tens of billions of viewers in the live broadcast room were stunned. 666, Yi Chen's operation makes my hair stand on end, and I feel so cold. The high priest can't defeat those fake felons, but Yi Chen, who has a vision beyond the times, may not be able to defeat them. These fake felons, be careful. Awesome. I thought Yi Chen must come forward in person, use his prestige to restrain the people of the Yanshan tribe, and then show his strong strength to intimidate the people of the Qingqiao tribe and calm down the current conflicts. Luo Shi thinks so too. As a result, Yi Chen just went out to relax a few days ago and is too lazy to go out again today. Here comes a heavy code for troubled times. I was so frightened by these punishment regulations that I broke out in cold sweat. I cut off my fingers if I disagreed with you. It's so terrible. I have 3 seconds of silence for the people of the Yanshan tribe. Everyone has lingering fears. Looking at the screen, Yi Chen, who had already started studying the new exercise map again, had a strong look of awe in his eyes. I think what's really scary is not the use of severe punishments in troubled times, but the pit dug for the high priest. Letting the high priest issue such severe punishment measures in his name is completely letting the high priest take the blame. On the other hand, letting Guli send someone he trusts to be the captain of the guard team is clearly to throw the high priest out to take the blame and appease the public anger at any time, so that he can get enough evidence and arrest the high priest at any time, leaving him no chance to argue or refute. The old high priest is still unaware that there is a butcher knife on his head that may be cut down at any time. But then again, although Yi Chen is cruel and ruthless, he is still nostalgic. At least, he gave the high priest enough hints. With the high priest's mind, he will definitely be able to slowly understand these hints. Even if you meet him in the future when the situation requires the high priest to be thrown out to quell the public anger, the high priest should be given a fairly good status. Yi Chen has no choice. He has no time to manage the Yanshan tribe and can only rely on the high priest. And the power of the high priest will only become more and more powerful in the future. Over time, after tasting and getting used to the superiority of deciding the fate and life and death of others with a single word, it is inevitable to get deeper and deeper. Even if you dare not rebel, I am afraid it is inevitable to deceive your superiors and subordinates. With a butcher knife on his neck, this hidden danger can be quickly solved with the force of thunder. Yi Chen is sitting in the room, and the world is in his hands. With his unmatched strength, it doesn't matter how noisy it is outside. If it gets out of hand, he can come out at any time to cut the Gordian knot and make the final decision. Everyone suddenly lacked confidence in those fake serious criminals. These fake serious criminals are elites, and have great advantages in vision and experience, but Yi Chen is obviously not so easy to deceive. Chapter 67, Plan Failed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the valley, outside a wooden house, Luo Shi stared unblinkingly at the stone house at the end of the valley. His eyes were shining with anticipation. In my mind, I was repeatedly considering and rehearsing the next plan. He was not kept waiting too long. The high priest soon came out of the stone house, but behind, there was no figure of Yi Chen. At this moment, Luo Shi was a little confused. In the tribe, many serious criminals who were also preparing to take the opportunity to attract Yi Chen's attention were also confused. Ordinary tribesmen couldn't detect Luo Shi's proactive attack. They, fake felons, could naturally see Luo Shi's intentions at a glance. If someone takes the initiative and is the first to stand up and take the lead, they are naturally happy to observe in secret. Therefore, he did not stop him, but secretly prepared his own plan. Once Luo Shi's plan succeeds and draws Yi Chen out to deal with the tribal conflict, they will also take advantage of the east wind. To attract Yi Chen's attention, therefore, while Luo Shi was thinking about how to offer advice to Yi Chen to resolve tribal conflicts, many fake felons were also showing off their strengths. There was a burly man practicing boxing in front of his wooden house. There is a chubby middle-aged man cooking on a stone slab in front of his wooden house. There was a stunning beauty with a tall figure and dark, rough skin, dancing in front of her wooden house. There is a peerless ugly girl with fair skin, eyes like stars, delicate face, and elegant temperament, who is like a fairy, sweeping the dust in front of the door. there was even a child who deliberately lured other children to play together, preparing to show off his talent after Yi Chen came out. These people were all disappointed, only the high priest came out. "High priest, how are you?" Luosher hesitated for a moment, then stepped forward. "What?" The high priest was thinking about Yi Chen's hint and didn't hear Luosher's words clearly. Luosher could only repeat it again. "It's okay. There is already a solution. I also mentioned your matter to the clan leader as agreed." The high priest waved his hand, ignored Luosher, and went straight back to his cabin. "Old man, burn the bridge when you cross the river." Seeing the completely different attitude of the high priest, Luosher cursed secretly, but was helpless. Turning his head to look at the stone house with the closed door, his head felt a slight pain. The mind of this greatest genius in human history is really difficult to fathom. The plan that I thought was sure to succeed failed to lure him out. "We have to take a long-term approach." He turned back to his cabin. In the distance, those fake felons who were trying to take advantage of the east wind saw Luosher returning disappointed, and they all ended their show-off. The mood is equally solemn. Although they are competitors, they actually hope that Luosher's plan will succeed, because once Luosher succeeds, it means that their methods will also be effective and they can successfully get close to Yi Chen. Unfortunately, Luosher failed. This shows that it is more difficult to get close to Yi Chen and gain Yi Chen's favor than they imagined. Only the peerless ugly girl who was sweeping the dust and looking like a fairy had a flash of light in her eyes that were as bright as stars. The small red lips were slightly raised, revealing a faint smile. In about an hour, the high priest announced the punishment measures. The whole tribe was in an uproar. Whether they were members of the Xuanhuan tribe or the Qingqiao tribe, they all complained against the high priest. Some tribesmen even suggested going to Yi Chen to file a complaint against the high priest. However, even though Yi Chen's stone house was only at the end of the valley and not too far away, he still couldn't make the trip, because even Hailan, a highly talented and versatile beauty, was severely punished for disturbing Yi Chen's practice, and others did not have the courage to disturb Yi Chen. With the establishment of the escort team, the new reform plan was officially launched, once again shocking the entire Yanshan tribe. Most people don't like to change the existing living environment, let alone a good living environment. However, as soon as they heard that this was the general direction set by the clan leader, the people of the Yanshan tribe immediately changed their tune and began to try to accept and get used to the new system. The people of the original Qingqiao tribe could only drift with the tide. As time went by, under the threat of severe punishment, and the average strength of the original Qingqiao tribe people increased. After a brief period of conflict, the people of the two tribes gradually integrated. The new system obviously makes the tribal people more motivated and more pursuing than the original system. The voices of opposition grew smaller and smaller until they disappeared completely. Autumn passes and winter comes. On the Yanshan mountain, heavy snow fell once again. There was a lot of excitement. In previous years, this would have been a cruel survival test for the people of the Yanshan tribe. After last year, the Yanshan tribe relied on the food Yi Chen obtained from killing the huge green leopard to survive a cold winter with plenty of food and clothing. This year, some tribesmen have even begun to appreciate the scene of snow falling in the sky and regard it as a rare beauty. Compared with last year, the Yanshan tribe has also undergone earth-shaking changes. The biggest difference is the explosion of population. Originally, because the Fourth Army had been fighting abroad for a long time, only a few old, weak, women and children were left in the clan. After the Green Grass tribe joined, although tribesmen continued to join the four armies, there were still many who stayed in the valley. It made the empty valley a lot more lively. Next, the implementation of the new system has begun to bear fruit. Everyone has a clear division of labor and gets something for their work, although there is no shortage of food. The tribesmen are still full of motivation in order to accumulate more spiritual stones. Finally, there are the constant innovations made by the fake felons in order to attract Yi Chen. Tools, environment, food. The entire Yanshan tribe has undergone tremendous changes. In the stone house at the end of the valley, Yi Chen is still focusing on testing and researching the movement maps of new exercises. Success is only one step away. According to his estimate, with luck, he might be able to succeed in 2 or 3 days. Even if you have bad luck, you can still succeed in 5 or 6 days. Bang bang. There was a sudden knock on the door. Gigi. The little golden ball jumped up and ran to open the door with ease. Clan leader, someone from Gully sent a message. saying that a human tribe was discovered in a large forest southeast of Yanshan Mountain. The high priest bowed to report. Yi Chen's eyes lit up. Found a second tribe? What's the population? That he asked impatiently. The high priest shook his head and said, I don't know. Besides, if you want to conquer this tribe, I'm afraid the clan leader needs to go there in person. Yi Chen was surprised. With Gu Li's current strength, it was normal for there to be ferocious beasts that they couldn't defeat. How could there be tribes that they couldn't conquer? He motioned to the high priest to continue. The high priest explained, this tribe lives in a large forest. Together with many ferocious beasts, they worship a powerful god. This god has the power to destroy the heaven and the earth. Gu Li once broke into the tribe in person, but without even seeing the god, she was seriously injured by the divine punishment that fell from the sky. She only escaped by relying on the cloud-stepping Arde calamity. It's interesting. It seems that I really have to go there in person. Yi Chen knew clearly in his heart that this so-called god should be some powerful beast, a ferocious beast that rules the human race and serves as a god in the human tribe. Chapter 68 New Kung Fu is about to be released. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Oh my god, Yi Chen is finally going out. It's been more than 8 months. I'm almost sick from boredom, but he only went out once. Poor little golden ball, he was so suffocated that he started counting how many golden hairs he had to pass the time. The audience in the live broadcast room finally became lively after being silent for many days. The most pitiful ones are those fake felons. They are trying every possible means and racking their brains to think of various ways to attract Yi Chen. As a result, Yi Chen just didn't go out, and all his flirtatious looks were given to the blind man. The most depressing thing is probably the fake felon who had plastic surgery to look like a child. In order to show off his cleverness and talent in front of Yi Chen, he did things in the tribe every day and became disgusted by everyone. Everyone shouted at him to beat him. I don't know if he was sent by the Federal Council, but this is actually a good idea. He has had his bones shrunk and had plastic surgery to look like a child, and he has extremely high talents. Once discovered by Yi Chen, with his good eloquence, he might really have a chance to be taken over by Yi Chen as a direct disciple. Once you succeed, you will sit on the Daiyutai. You just have to pretend to be an innocent little kid every day, which will probably be extremely uncomfortable. That's not nonsense. Just follow a bunch of brats and compete to see who can pee farther and whose urine can mix more mud. Still, knowing that hundreds of billions of viewers are watching, the psychological quality is not strong enough and the spirit is ironclad. Collapse. However, these fake felons managed to survive until the moon cleared, and they finally encountered the opportunity when Yi Chen was about to go out. I wonder which fake felon can come out on top and attract Yi Chen's attention first. It's hard to say, everyone has their own merits. I think the big fat man is the most likely, because his house is right next to the only way out of the valley. The fragrance of delicious food covers a wide range, and it can easily attract Yi Chen's attention. I think that little brat fake felon will come out on top, because now he is starting to make trouble again. Once Yi Chen comes out, he will definitely lead the children who are chasing him to deliberately run towards Yi Chen past. Everyone was excitedly discussing who could attract Yi Chen's attention first. In the stone house, the high priest said respectfully, Chief, what about the tribesmen I have arranged to deliver the message to come and lead you? Now, Yi Chen hesitated for a few seconds and waved his hand, we will discuss this matter in a few days. I will inform you then. Okay, the high priest bowed and left. Yi Chen sat down cross-legged again and continued to test and study the new exercise map. Little Jin Xiu was disappointed. He looked at Yi Chen and wanted to say something, but after hesitating for a few seconds, he still ran to close the door. The viewers in the live broadcast room were a little confused. What's going on? Is Yi Chen in love with creating luck maps? Logically speaking, understanding the laws of nature is already an extremely boring thing. Testing and studying movement maps requires a long period of concentration, and repeated attempts and failures are 10 times more boring than understanding the laws of nature. Not to mention finding a second tribe, even if nothing happens, Yi Chen should find a reason to go out to relax and adjust his mentality. Now, he finally has a chance to go out for a walk, but he still doesn't plan to go out. It's not that he doesn't plan to go out. It should be that the new technique he created is almost successful. Some viewers quickly reacted and thought of the reason. That's right, Yi Chen just said he would talk about it in a few days, not that he couldn't go. It's rare to find a second tribe and he needs to take action personally. He actually postponed it for a few days. It must be that a new technique is about to be released. After waiting for more than 8 months, I finally got the new technique, that the confused audience all became excited after reacting. After more than half a year, Yi Chen's new technique was finally created. Everyone's attention was immediately focused on the new technique. I don't know what type of new technique it is. Whether it's understanding or creating a movement map, Yi Chen spends all his time in the room, and there are no clues at all. I can only be sure that it is not an attack type of technique. Otherwise, the enlightenment would not have to be done in the room. No matter what type of technique, you should know it in a few days. Don't think about it, it must be a very awesome technique. That's no nonsense, none of the techniques created by Yi Chen are awesome. Everyone, please cherish it. I decided to keep an eye on it 24 hours a day until the new technique is released. Me too, I want to be the first witness of the new technique. It only takes a month to create a new skill during the Qi condensation period. To create a new skill during the spirit release period, it doubles the time to 2 months. At the moment, it takes 2 months to create a new skill during the spirit release period. As long as 8 months. Those untrustworthy experts and scholars, their good guesses did not work, but their bad guesses did come true. Yi Chen is indeed close to the upper limit in creating techniques. It took a lot of effort to wait until the new technique is released. I must witness its power as soon as possible. Everyone is looking forward to it. In addition to looking forward to the effect of the new technique, he is also looking forward to Yi Chen being able to teach the chaos technique and the complete version of the heaven-destroying technique of the spiritual technique period. It stands to reason that Yi Chen has successfully created a new technique and can concentrate on practicing and improving his realm. In addition, Guli encountered powerful beasts again. Yi Chen must choose to teach the spiritual method period Chaos Ju and the complete version of Heaven-slashing Ju as before, so that the high-end combat power and average strength of the tribe can be improved by leaps and bounds, but no one dared to say this idea. It's reasonable, Yi Chen never makes sense, even the top psychologists can't guess his thoughts, after being abused so many times. Everyone feels that even if there is a 100% possibility, it is better not to have too much hope. In this way, if Yi Chen does not teach the skills, it will not be too uncomfortable. If Yi Chen teaches the skills, it will be a pleasant surprise. How great! There are only a few days left before the new skills are released. This site will invite experts and scholars from all walks of life to analyze the value and advantages and disadvantages of the new skills for everyone as soon as possible. After more than 8 months, Yi Chen finally has a new skill to create. Please look forward to it. The upper limit of the creation of skills is approaching. In the future, how many new skills can Yi Chen create? The major news media finally became active. After more than half a year, the feast of frequently changing front-page headlines and madly harvesting traffic has come again. In their view, as Yi Chen's upper limit of creating skills is getting closer and closer, this should be one of the few feasts. The good days of the major news media climbing up will also come to an end. In the future, when Yi Chen reaches the upper limit of creating new skills, there may be countless viewers paying attention to Yi Chen, but it will definitely not be like now, where a random headline related to Yi Chen can attract hundreds of billions or trillions of views. The entertainment activities that will be held in the near future on major planets, such as new movie releases, concerts, and various fashion shows, were all announced to be postponed at the first time. There is no way. When Yi Chen's new skills are about to be released, no matter who stars in the movie or whose concert, no one is destined to care. The traffic volume of Yi Chen sneezing and suspected cold can crush all the movie stars and singers in the galaxy, the senior officials of the parliament, the big men of the military, the wealthy people in the business world, and the heads of various forces also immediately told their secretaries. Once Yi Chen finished testing the exercise map, he notified them immediately. Chapter 69, The Tip of the Iceberg Shocked All Mankind. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Chen's luck seems to be good. It only took a little over 2 days to successfully create the movement map. Finally done, that he couldn't help but feel bad breath. For ordinary people, researching and creating exercises is definitely an extremely boring thing. For him, the same is true. The reason why he persists is purely because the new technique can make him and the entire Yanshan tribe stronger. Only with his strong strength and the strong strength of the Yanshan tribe can he conquer this planet with powerful ferocious beasts. One day, he could even point his sword at the starry sky. The larger the area occupied, the higher his talent. In this way, his talent will never end and continue to improve. In turn, with his talent that can never end, his strength and realm can never stop improving. At this stage, although the Yanshan tribe has become invincible in the Yanshan mountains, the expansion of the sphere of influence is also proceeding steadily, but it is far from the level of peace of mind. Yi Chen could only endure the loneliness, endure the boredom in his heart, and work hard to create new techniques. Fortunately, the hard work of more than 8 months was worth it. The birth of the new technique was enough to increase his strength tenfold. If the people of the Yanshan tribe learn how to do it, not only will their strength increase dramatically, but the speed of expanding their sphere of influence will also increase significantly. It's coming, it's coming. The new technique is coming. This time, Yi Chen has no reason not to go out, right? After suffering from those fake felons who worked so hard to show off, he finally got a chance to show off himself. The one who really struggled was little Jinxiu. He was obviously a rambunctious child, but he just stayed in his room for most of the year and didn't dare to make any noise. Fortunately, he persisted. The audience in the live broadcast room immediately became excited. Major news media immediately announced the news that Yi Chen had successfully created a new technique. In the live broadcast room, the number of viewers, which already exceeds 100 billion, is still increasing at a staggering speed. After being reminded by the secretary, the bosses from all parties, no matter whether they were attending a meeting, dealing with any affairs, or engaging in any sports, immediately announced the suspension or end and started the live video. Yi Chen took the initiative to open the door. The little golden ball jumped on his shoulder, took a deep breath of the air outside, and danced with excitement. Clan leader. Not far away, the guards under the eaves, sheltering from the wind and snow, hurriedly bowed to say hello. Ask the high priest to bring over the tribesmen sent by Gully to deliver the message. Yi Chen ordered. Yes. The guard immediately ran at full speed in the direction of the tribe. Not long after, the high priest came trotting over with a tribesman. Clan leader. There hasn't been much happening in the clan recently, right? Yi Chen asked. No. The high priest quickly shook his head. I'm going to Gully. If anything important happens during this period, I'll put it off if I can. If I can't, I'll handle it myself. Yi Chen explained. Now there is heavy snow in the sky, and the Yanshan mountain is completely white. It is difficult to distinguish the direction. The high priest reminded. Fine. Yi Chen waved his hand. He turned to look at the tribesman who delivered the message. You should remember any important areas along the way, right? Remember, that the tribesman who delivered the letter was a little nervous, and even his voice stammered. Yi Chen didn't care either. He grabbed the messenger's arm. Spiritual power surges. He took the tribesman who delivered the message and flew upward out of thin air while the high priest was stunned. 10 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters, flying higher and higher, the valley was crossed in a moment. After a short period of adaptation and testing, Yi Chen took the clansman who delivered the message and faced the flying snow in the sky, flying all the way to the southeast. The clan leader is indeed the reincarnation of a god. In front of the stone house, there was a pop, and the guard knelt on the ground, worshipping Yi Chen who was retreating into the sky. The high priest, who had his mouth wide open with disbelief on his face and could not even feel the snowflakes falling in his mouth, finally came to his senses. Even though Yi Chen had already left, he still knelt on the ground and worshipped along with the guards. Among the entire Yanshan tribe, those who least believed that Yi Chen was a god were the fake felons. Secondly, there are the high priests and the priests of the green grass tribe, as messengers who communicate with the gods. They are the ones who understand best that the gods do not exist, but at this moment, the high priest doubted this judgment. If it weren't for the reincarnation of the gods, how could the clan leader be able to fly into the sky like a big bird without wings? At this moment, in the live broadcast room, the trillions of viewers who came to see the new technique after hearing the news seemed to have been turned to stone. My whole body was stiff and I couldn't move an inch. Fuck, what did I see? Oh my god, come on and give me a slap. Am I not dreaming? It's flying. Yi Chen actually flew out of thin air. Heaven and earth, I knew that Yi Chen's new technique would be so awesome that it would explode. But I didn't expect that it would be so awesome. His new technique can actually make people fly. Like the high priest and the guards, I have knelt in front of the screen and bowed to the ground in worship. It wasn't until a few minutes later that anyone reacted. The entire galaxy was boiling like a pot exploding. Anyone can guess that Yi Chen's new technique must be awesome, because Yi Chen proved with facts that there is no skill he created that is not awesome. Even when he created the heaven-destroying technique last time, everyone believed that he was limited by his vision and took a detour when creating the technique. Yi Chen also easily killed the golden python with an iron sword to tell everyone that it was all mankind, not him, whose vision was too low, but no one expected that the new technique created by Yi Chen would be the same as cloud stepping technique, which could allow humans to break through the defects of their body structure, and, even more amazing, cloud stepping technique only allows humans to reach speeds exceeding the speed of sound. This new technique actually allows humans to fly in the sky. From ancient times to the present, flying has been the dream ability of all mankind. It is precisely driven by this strong desire that mankind has invented various flying equipment, hot air balloons, and even airplanes and space battleships through the continuous efforts and improvements of generations of geniuses. Yi Chen went one step further. His new technique can directly allow humans to fly freely in the sky without the help of any equipment. Good guy, it feels like I, as an aircraft designer, am going to lose my job, but why am I still so excited? You don't need to feel it, you are definitely unemployed. Aircraft, flight equipment, and even the stocks of civil aircraft and mech-related companies have all begun to collapse. After today, a lot of related companies will declare bankruptcy. But on the other hand, other industries will see sharp growth across the board, and everyone can just wait for wage increases. Now, I really sympathize with those fake felons waiting for Yi Chen to come out. Right now, they think there are 10,000 grass mud horses galloping around in their hearts. After working hard for half a year, they finally managed to survive until Yi Chen went out for a trip. I thought that the opportunity had come, and I could finally show myself to Yi Chen. But Yi Chen flew away with a hiss. No matter what they do, I just want to learn new techniques now. I want to fly. I am willing to spend 100 years of my life in exchange for Yi Chen to teach new techniques as soon as possible. I'm willing to spend 100 years unable to find a girlfriend in exchange for Yi Chen teaching new skills as soon as possible. If I really learn the new exercises, I won't have to take the elevator when I go out. All mankind has descended into madness. Just thinking about being able to fly freely in the sky without using any tools makes everyone feel an unbearable desire deep in their hearts. Yi Chen had only shown the tip of the iceberg of the new technique, but it had already plunged all mankind into a state of extreme shock and unparalleled desire. Chapter 70, Dare Not Report to the Holy Lord. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As expected of Yi Chen, the new technique has once again broken through the structural defects of human beings. In front of the screen, all the top richest people in the galaxy were full of admiration. I knew that Yi Chen's new technique would definitely push up the stock market across the galaxy once again. It was no wonder that I started raising funds half a year ago and secretly accumulated funds. It can actually make humans fly. This technique is quite interesting once you learn it. This talent, this mind that has repeatedly broken through the confinement of thoughts, is simply unbelievable. If it can be exchanged, I am willing to use all my wealth in exchange for Yi Chen's talent. It's a pity that the guy who spent a lot of money to send the exile to the planet, even though he was just lucky and placed it very close to the green grass tribe, he still got nothing after all this time. At this level, he is one of the top 10 scammers in the galaxy. For more than half a year, he has not even seen Yi Chen once, let alone gained Yi Chen's attention and even affection. He is simply a fool. Waste. But having said that, Yi Chen doesn't go out for more than half a year, and he strictly prohibits others from disturbing him. If I were to take action in person, I probably wouldn't dare to act rashly, so I can only wait and wait patiently. All the top rich people are both happy and worried. Fortunately, I naturally relied on my extraordinary judgment and vision to plan the stock market in advance and made a lot of money. What is worrying is that the people sent to exile the planet at great cost have made no progress. As for the Cultivation Technique Research Institute built with a lot of money, so far, it has been burning money like water every day. But it has also gained nothing. The two arrows were fired in unison, but were blocked at both ends. Everyone is here, let's get down to business. Military headquarters building. In the conference room, Marshal Tai Shui saw the images of all the military bosses appearing in front of the conference table and immediately got to the point. The military restructuring must speed up the progress and pace. As for the infantry, in terms of recruitment, the talent requirements will be increased by 30% again, and military expenditures will be increased 5 times. Accelerate the pace of forming a Special Forces Corps. After Yi Chen teaches the new skills, we will formulate coordinated tactics and drills for flying and skyslaying techniques as soon as possible. I agree. Agree. No objection. That the 2 8-star generals and the 12 7-star generals agreed without any hesitation, passed unanimously. Come again. Marshal Ironblood has not yet finished massively reducing the research and development costs of mechas, and at the same time making preparations and arrangements for the abolition of mecha warriors. Agree. Agree. No objection. Still passed unanimously without any comments. After a pause, the Marshal's iron-blooded eyes said with a stern look, the conditions for collecting pilots and battleship soldiers will increase the proportion of talents and requirements. The specific amount will be decided after the analyst comes up with a detailed analysis report. The promotion system has been readjusted, and the conditions for obtaining military ranks remain unchanged. However, in terms of military positions, in addition to military merit, talent and realm requirements have been added, and you can gradually progress in the early stage. For generals with lower talents and lower levels of strength, find ways to collect spiritual materials that can improve their talents. At the same time, as long as they are battalion level or above colonels with lower levels of talents and strength, arrange for one or several geniuses serve as adjutants. At critical moments, the adjutant with a higher level and faster response has the right to make decisions on their behalf. Agree. Agree. No objection. That it was still unanimously approved the first time. This military meeting is destined to be the most harmonious and least controversial military meeting in the entire military. The birth of Yi Chen's new technique has realized the desire of human beings to fly freely in the sky for thousands of years. It also allowed the big guys in the military to see the hope that human beings could kill all races with a single soldier, the flying ability coupled with the heaven slaying. Technique may not be as powerful as a mecha at this stage, but the human geniuses still have a lot of room for improvement. Sooner or later, you can reach the point where you can easily defeat mechas with your dexterity advantage. The most important thing is that this new fighting method can continue to be improved in the future. As for the performance of mechas, there has been no breakthrough improvement in the past 1,000 years. The military bosses present could almost all conclude that the genetic warriors have been eliminated, and 100 years later, mecha warriors will also be unable to escape the fate of withdrawing from the stage of history. It is imperative to reorganize the military across the board, rather than like the last military meeting. Most people think it is better to implement it slowly, because they all understand that the races around the galaxy that are opposed to the human race will never give the human race much time to develop. Angel Galaxy, Planet Clay. In a huge palace, Bolton, the ruler of this planet and a high-ranking member of the Angel Clan, in charge of the entire Angel Clan spy organization, frowned as he looked at the latest document that had been delivered to him. It's this human genius again. That there was a dull pain in his head, there was also a flash of hesitation in his eyes. The new technique created by the man hailed as the greatest genius in history by the human race will give humans the ability to fly freely in the sky. With his eyes, he could tell at a glance how amazing his development prospects were with his flying ability and the power of the heaven-destroying art. As for the human military, the reorganization will definitely accelerate as a result. Logically speaking, the human race is one of the angel race's biggest enemies. Such important information must be delivered to the hands of the Holy Lord of the Angel Clan as soon as possible, but he was a little afraid to do so. The images of the human genius creating new techniques were sent to the Holy Lord twice in succession, which aroused the Holy Lord's dissatisfaction and rebuke. If this was the third time in less than a year that the image of the human genius creating a new technique was sent to the Holy Master, and the Holy Master still dismissed the human genius, he would be in trouble. In the eyes of the angel tribe, he is an extremely powerful two-winged golden angel, one of the top leaders in control of the spy organization, a high-ranking being who controls the fate of countless angel tribes, but in front of the violent and bloodthirsty Holy Lord of the Angel Clan, he was just a servant with good abilities. Once the slave dissatisfies him one after another, the consequences will be disastrous. Forget it. I can only hope that Liebua and the human traitor he trained can kill this human genius as soon as possible. Burton finally chose to give up. He didn't dare to take the risk, but it's okay. What made him more gratified was that Liebua, who was originally sent to the human race to collect intelligence materials, was very good. This Li Bo is not that strong, he is just a silver angel with two wings. For the sake of his clear mind and decisiveness, Bolton sent him to the galaxy as the person in charge after careful consideration. When Yi Chen only created the cloud-stepping technique but not the heaven-destroying technique, Liebua put down all his affairs, destroyed all his realms of strength, and mixed in with the human traitors he trained to be punished. Among the crimes, for this reason, Bolton once yelled at Liebua that he was crazy, but looking back now, this guy's vision and judgment are simply incredibly powerful. In fact, as early as that period, he had already concluded that the human genius would become a serious problem for the angel race. He did not hesitate to destroy all his cultivation, dropped all his affairs, and personally sneaked into the exiled planet with the determination to die to solve this serious problem. This kind of talent cannot be given up just like that. When he succeeds in assassinating the human genius, he can exchange the captured human general for it, but I don't know if the human parliament will agree. Whether you agree or not, the worst thing is, we will risk losing a group of 4-winged silver angels, 6-winged silver angels, and all the traitors trained in the human race. Even if we go to the human military headquarters to rob the prison, we must rescue Liebua. Bolton exhaled, feeling a little calmer.